This is a Lexus LS 500, and this particular one has an option that's $23,080. What the heck could possibly cost 23 grand in this Lexus? Well, that $23,000 option is called the Executive Package with Curaco glass, and it makes the inside of this Lexus, in my opinion, nicer than a Rolls Royce for a quarter of the cost. Here in the rear of this Lexus, we've got an info screen, which controls just about every aspect you could imagine, including the seat position. So I can control both the left and the right seat, and they are power adjustable, just like the front. So I can fold them up and down, I can move the headrest up and down, I can of course adjust the lumbar, and then the coolest part is I can actually put up a little leg cushion. In order to extend what is called the ottoman, I have to move the front passenger seat out of the way, and I can do so by pushing this button. And then you can see that the whole seat glides forward, and then it keeps going, and it keeps going, and then it starts to tilt, and then the headrest comes down. Look at this sheer amount of legroom. And now I can extend the ottoman. Hold it all the way forward, I can click on the ottoman, now the crazy thing about this is there are several other cars out on the market with an ottoman, but I am 6 foot 1 inch tall, and I've never been able to extend completely out with my legs in any car. That's how much room there is back here. And I can adjust things I didn't even know needed adjusting, like the shoulder bolster support and precision adjustments for the pelvic region. That is absurd. But of course, if laying down in the back seat of a Lexus wasn't comfortable enough, there's also a massage function with some of the most advanced massage features I've ever seen. So you can go a full body massage, a full body stretch, a full body simple massage. You can also just do your lower body or your upper body or your shoulders. You can of course adjust the aggressiveness of the massage, and you can even turn on and off a spot heater, which will gently heat up various parts of your body just for that true spa experience. There is of course a lot more functionality here on the back seat screen. So, for example, in climate, I can of course control my cooled seats in the rear, as well as my 3-position heated seat, set all the automatic climate controls, set where the air goes. That's probably not all that uncommon, but what is uncommon is there's a separate menu for shade and lamp. And if I push this button, shades come rising out of the side window. But what's crazy is not only do they rise out of the main part of the window, but a little quarter window shade also extends, just so you're completely blocked off from potential eyes or potential sun. And you can even see here in the actual animation, the shade goes up and down as it does in the real world. Plus, take a look at this, I can also open a sunshade on the roof, and when I open it in the real life, it also emulates that here on the screen. Now, of course, lighting in the Lexus is important as well, especially when you're trying to read something classy like the Times or what's another classy one?
Wall Street Journal?
Wall Street Journal, that's right, Wall Street Journal, when they're in the backseat of the Lexus. So there are multiple dome lights, and you can turn them on by simply pushing a button and they fade to life. But there are a couple positions, so if I push it again, it dims down just a little more so you can read Bloomberg without such crazy amount of lighting casting upon the page. But this is a lot of work. You know, having to lift up your whole arm just to push a button is a lot of work. So Lexus has you covered. They give you a duplicate button down here on the center screen, and it operates just the same as the mechanical button above your head, but this one just releases some stress of having to turn on the dome light. Part of that $23,080 package is right here on the door. This is Curaco glass, And quite honestly, it's incredible. I'm not a big fan of bling bling, but the way this is incorporated into the door panel is just amazing. Very Japanese, a little bit understated, but it's real glass. I mean, this is a one piece of knurled finish here. It really is amazing. Here on the Mark Levinson sound system, you also get another pattern. And then here on the door panel, you get the hand-pleated door interior trim. Hand-pleated, that's pretty cool. However, this kind of looks like ruffles to me. I'm not quite sure I like these little flaps. However, the glass and the speaker grille are awesome. Part of that $23,000 option package is the leather interior trim, which is pretty incredible. It's called Quilted Stitch Perforated Semi-Aniline Leather Interior Trim. Anyway, I don't know what that means, but what I do know is that there is incredibly done, beautiful stitching on just about every interior panel and surface inside the Lexus LS. Here on the seat, there is more stitching than I've seen, I think, in my entire life. It's down the middle, it's across the side, it's on the back, it's on the headrest, then across the dash. It's stitched here on the top, it's stitched here in two places down the middle, it's on the center console, it's on the steering wheel. It's even stitched around the gauge cluster. There's a line of gently done stitching that surrounds the center screen here. Does it need to be stitched there? No. There's really no purpose for it, but it's the attention to detail that makes this car so incredible. There are a couple of other things you get for your $23,000 executive package option, such as the suede headliner, a 28-way power driver's seat with multifunction massage. Of course, you get 4-zone climate concierge, not 4-zone climate control, climate concierge, the Curaco glass. Oh, and you also get this. Check out what happens when you unlock and open the front doors. Ha! Look at that! The seatbelt buckle rises out of the console to greet you. Do I need that? No, it only rises like 3 inches, but that is incredible. If that doesn't speak to the attention to detail of this LS, I don't know what does, because I can almost guarantee there is no other car in the world that does that. This car also has a set of almost borderline chrome wheels on it. I would normally hate these, but it kind of fits the character of this car. And it also has an option for adaptive variable air suspension, which you can actually raise for when you're going into low parking lots or low parking garages or driveways. That's pretty cool. And unlike just about every other air suspension, it's built by Lexus, which means it's gonna work for a long time. Under the hood of the Lexus is an engine, and it doesn't really matter. It's a twin-turbo V6. It makes 416 horsepower. It works like an engine should. It's very quiet. This car isn't all that much fun to drive, but it's not really supposed to be. It's supposed to be extremely comfortable and extremely refined and extremely well made. And it checks all of those boxes perfectly. So yes, it's probably not as fun to drive as the 7 Series, but if you're shopping in this class for quick, nimble handling, you really are looking in the wrong place. The one part I don't like about this car is the 12.3-inch navigation and infotainment screen. Well, that's pretty cool. It does a cool graphic, and the actual image quality is excellent, but the use is just not great. It's a little tricky to actually operate because it uses this little touchpad down here, which feels very disconnected from the actual controls, but it does have some cool things like the seat controls, just like the rear seats. There are about 1,000 different ways that you can adjust the comfort of both the driver and the passenger. And also in this car, it has an option for a 24-inch heads-up display that extends basically the entire length of the driver's view. It's pretty spectacular. As hard to use as the infotainment screen is, there is one piece of functionality in this Lexus which is perfect, and that is this knob right here. Turn the top portion of the knob and you get your volume for your radio, but turn the bottom portion and that controls the tune for your audio. This is brilliant. I hate when manufacturers don't include a tune knob. In this car, they've included a volume knob, a tune knob, and of course your on and off functionality all within one control. It works perfectly. Now, even though this car isn't very sporty to drive, they do include this little selector up here, which feels great to play with, by the way. Very high quality, of course, and it controls your different drive modes. So comfort and normal, you've got eco mode, sport, and then sport S. And when you change the modes here in the center, it actually changes your display as well. And then on the left, you've got traction control off and snow modes. The base price of the LS 500 is about $78,000, but when you add up all the options, including that $23,000 option, this one you see behind me is $115 grand, which is quite expensive, I grant you that. However, it is a true bargain. Hear me out. You know how this car competes with vehicles like the Genesis G90? Well, the G90 is a bargain compared to the LS because you get a lot of value and a lot of functionality for a lot less cost. However, this LS is a bargain compared to like a Rolls-Royce Ghost or Rolls-Royce Phantom, because for $300,000 less, you get just as much build quality, just as much technology, arguably more comfort, and a heck of a lot more longevity in the LS. This car is amazing. It's definitely worth checking out because for $115K, you just can't get anything nicer. As always, this is Tommy with the Fastlane Car. Head over to tflcar.com for the latest and greatest in new car reviews.